From underwhelming power and awkward styling to bad timing and poor marketing, these are the top 13 that dealers practically begged you to buy. Sometimes even really good Japanese bikes just don't fly off the shelves like dealers hope. So, if you're hunting for a bargain, stick around. Today, we're diving into 13 Japanese motorcycles that dealers are practically giving away because they just can't sell them. Grab your coffee. This is going to be good. First up, we've got the Yamaha M03. This is a cool-looking naked bike, meaning it shows off its engine and frame. It's got a 321cc liquid-cooled engine. This engine has 2 cylinders side by side, and it uses double overhead cams or DOHC, which helps it breathe well. Yamaha says it makes about 42 Pferdestark, that's German for horsepower, at 10,750 spins of the engine per minute or RPM. For pull, it gives you 29.6 Nm of torque at 9,000 RPM. It also has a 6-speed gearbox and a special clutch called an assist and slipper clutch. This makes shifting gears easier and stops the back wheel from locking up if you change down gears too fast. It looks sharp and you sit upright, which is comfy. But dealers are having a tough time because there are so many small naked bikes out there, and some are cheaper. So the MT03 sometimes gets lost in the crowd. Next, let's talk about a bike lots of folks love, the Suzuki SV650. This one's famous for its 645cc V-twin engine. That means the 2 cylinders are arranged in a V shape. It's a DOHC engine as well, and it kicks out about 70 PS at 8,500 RPM, with 62 Nm of torque at 7,000 RPM. A cool thing about this engine is that it's a 90-degree L-twin, which means it's naturally balanced. So, Suzuki didn't need to add a heavy part called a counterbalancer to stop it from shaking too much. The bike has a neat frame called a trellis frame, which looks like a lattice, and it's light, helping it turn quickly. Even though it's a good all-around bike, its looks are a bit old school, and it doesn't have a lot of the new electronic gadgets. This means fewer people are buying it, so dealers are cutting prices. Moving on to the Kawasaki Z400. This bike runs on a 399cc parallel twin engine, so the 2 cylinders are next to each other again. Kawasaki says this engine makes 45 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and gives you 37 Nm of torque at 8,000 RPM. It's got a light frame and you sit up straight, which is great for riding around town. It's a solid bike, but it's in a tough spot. There's a lot of competition, and some riders think other bikes in this group are a bit more exciting. So, even though it's a good bike, dealers are finding it tricky to sell. Here's another one from Yamaha, the YZFR3. This is a sporty-looking bike with full fairings. It uses the same 321cc parallel twin engine as the MT03 we talked about. So, it also makes 42 PS at 10,750 RPM and 29.6 Nm of torque at 9,000 RPM. It's designed to cut through the air well, has a good suspension parts from a company called KYB, and it's light. Lots of new riders like it. But the problem is, other bikes have come out that have a bit more power, but cost about the same. This has slowed down sales, leading dealers to offer good deals. Let's look at a Honda now, the CBR 500R. This one has a 471cc parallel twin engine. It puts out 47.5 PS at 8,600 RPM and 43 Nm of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's a sporty bike that's still pretty comfortable to ride. It has a full fairing to cover the engine and bright LED lights. It's a nice package, but it often gets missed. People looking for a sport bike might go for something with a bigger engine or a more aggressive look. So, sales can be slow, and dealers try to move them with special prices. In the end, perhaps the biggest challenge for the CBR 500R is living up to its own expectations. By having the style of a sport bike, the name of a sport bike, and the price of a sport bike, it leads us to believe that the CBR will perform, above all else, like a sport bike. Okay, We're seeing a pattern here, right? These are all good bikes from big, well-known Japanese companies. So, why are dealers having such a hard time selling them? Is it bad luck, or did they make too many? Well, it's usually a mix of things. Sometimes, like with the MT03, there are just too many similar bikes fighting for your money. Other times, like the SV650, a bike might be great, but not have the latest tech that some riders want. And sometimes new models come out that just grab all the attention. It's not always the bike's fault, but it means deals for us. Now back to Suzuki with the GSX 250R. This bike has a 248cc parallel twin engine. It makes about 24.7 PS at 8,000 RPM and 23.4 Newton-meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's built to be comfortable for everyday riding and doesn't use a lot of fuel. The catch? The power numbers are not very high, and its styling is pretty safe. Certainly not super exciting. Because of this, not a lot of people are lining up to buy it. So, dealers often have good deals to try and clear them out. Now for the Kawasaki Ninja 400. This popular sport bike uses a 399cc parallel twin engine, just like the Z400 we mentioned earlier. So it produces 45 PS at 10,000 RPM and 37 Newton-meters of torque at 8,000 RPM. It's known for being easy to handle, turning sharply, and having that aggressive ninja look. It's a very capable bike, no doubt, but even the Ninja 400 isn't safe from competition. Newer models from other brands, and sometimes even within Kawasaki's own lineup, can make it a tougher sell. This means dealers might offer discounts to get them sold. Yamaha's MT07 is another one on our list. This bike is a real favorite for many because of its fun engine. It's a 689cc parallel twin, and it gives you 74.8 PS at 9,000 RPM with 68 Newton-meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's light and it responds quickly when you twist the throttle. So what's the problem? Well, the MT07 has a pretty basic design without a lot of fancy electronic gadgets. In a market where more and more bikes are coming loaded with tech, some buyers pass it over. This can lead to dealers needing to sweeten the pot with incentives. Now let's look at a cruiser, the Honda Rebel 500. This one also has Honda's 471cc parallel twin engine, like the CBR 500R. For the Rebel, it makes 47.5 PS at 8,500 RPM and 43 Newton-meters of torque at 6,000 RPM. The big appeal here is the low seat, which makes it easy for shorter riders or beginners to feel confident. It has that relaxed cruiser style, but it's a bit of a specific taste. It's not a traditional V-twin cruiser, and there's competition from other bikes in that style. So, sales can be a bit slower, making dealers offer special prices. Here's something different, the Suzuki DRZ400 SM. This is a supermoto, which is like a dirt bike with street tires and suspension. It has a 398cc single-cylinder engine. That one big piston makes 39.7 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 39 Newton-meters of torque at 6,600 RPM. It's light, turns on a dime, and is a blast to ride. The issue? It's pretty specialized. Not everyone is looking for a supermoto. Plus, it can be a bit pricey compared to some regular dual sport bikes that can also go off-road. This means dealers often have to offer discounts to attract buyers. So, we're hearing a lot about slow sales and dealer discounts. Sounds a bit gloomy for the dealers, right? But here's the twist, the silver lining in all of this. When dealers can't sell these bikes easily, who wins? You do! That's right. All these factors, too much competition, slightly older designs, or just not being the hot new thing, mean that perfectly good brand new Japanese motorcycles can often be bought for way less than their original sticker price. Dealer can't sell really means buyer's market. So if you're smart, you can snag an awesome reliable machine for a great price. Alright, let's keep going with the Kawasaki Versys X300. This is a small adventure touring bike. It's powered by a 296cc parallel twin engine. This little guy revs high, making 39 horsepower, way up at 11,500 RPM, and 26 Nm of torque at 10,000 RPM. It's designed for long rides with suspension that can soak up bumps, and you sit upright comfortably. It sounds good, but it's not a hardcore off-road machine, and it faces competition from bigger adventure bikes that can do more. Because of this, sales can be slower than dealers would like, leading to incentives. Next up is the Yamaha XSR700. This bike takes the engine from the MT07 and puts it in a retro-styled package. So, it has that same great 689cc parallel twin engine, making 74.8 PS at 9,000 RPM, and 68 Nm of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's light and it handles well, and many people like the old-school looks mixed with new bike reliability. The engine is designed primarily for road use, prioritizing punchy acceleration from stop to stop and corner to corner at more sensible speeds. However, that retro style is a bit of a niche. There's also other retro bikes out there. This means the demand isn't always super high, so dealers might offer discounts to move them. And finally, number 13 is the Honda NC700X. This bike is known for being super practical. It has a 670cc parallel twin engine that's tuned for low-down power, making 51 horsepower at 6,250 RPM and a good 62 Nm of torque at just 4,750 RPM. One really unique thing is a storage spot right where the fuel tank normally is, big enough for a helmet. You can also get it with Honda's dual-clutch transmission, or DCT, which is like an automatic gearbox for a motorcycle. And it's great on gas too. But its looks are a bit different, and it's not the fastest bike out there. This has limited its appeal for some riders, leading to dealers putting promotions on it to help with sales. Phew! There you have it. 13 solid Japanese motorcycles that, for one reason or another, dealers are having a tough time selling. So, next time you walk into a showroom and see one of these bikes gathering dust, remember, it's not a bad bike. It's just a hidden gem waiting for a smart buyer. So what do you think? Are any of these bikes on your radar? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this list and wanted more tips on finding motorcycle deals, hit that subscribe button and join the ride.